Primetime News welcomes you on the very last Monday of May. Good evening and thanks for joining me. I'm Patricia Kutsia. We commence in the capital, where descendants of the victims of the 1904 to 1908 genocide gathered on Sunday for a remembrance event in honor of the thousands of people who perished during the conflict. Our producer Lydia Pitiri tracked proceedings on the ground and filed our lead report.
The multitudes of these humble, bereaved people are here to register their consent emphatically and patriotically to the parliamentary resolution of 2020 that enjoined the Cabinet of the Republic of Namibia to proclaim the 28th of May as the Genocide Remembrance Day in Namibia. The people gathered here would like to render credence to that resolution of the National Assembly. Whilst government is preparing itself to gazette the day, the descendants of the genocide, and indeed all people here from all walks of the life, are wholeheartedly welcoming the event ahead on the day when government of Namibia shall have gazetted that day Genocide Remembrance Day. As good citizens, we are in anticipation of good things to come from our government.
We cannot but with this day, which is only the beginning and shall be commemorated every year till it is officially gazetted, shall indeed assume the national character that it has been envisaged to, uniting all descendants and all of them mourning this day.
Moving on to the Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus outbreak, which has prompted the Veterinary Services Directorate in the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform to implement animal health control measures in order to minimize the transmission of the Crimean Congo virus. Chief Veterinary Officer Dr. Albertina Shilongo, in a public notice issued recently, attributed this development to the detection of the virus in an individual at Gubabas on May 23, 2023. Our reporter Sawi Hausiku compiled this report.
Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever is a severe hemorrhagic viral disease of people acquired from infected ticks through tick bites, contact with infected wild or domestic animal blood or tissue, and physical contact with the body fluids of an infected person. Chief Veterinary Officer Dr. Albertina Shilongo said infected animals do not manifest clinical disease but experience mild fever. However, in infected people, the onset of symptoms is sudden with fever, dizziness, neck pain, stiffness, backache, headache, sore eyes, and sensitivity to light, she added. Shilongo said there may be nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, followed by sharp mood swings and confusion. Anyone showing these clinical signs should report to the nearest health facility. The Directorate has thus far implemented measures nationwide to minimize the transmission of the infection from ticks and animals to humans in line with the Animal Health Act 1 of 2011. The Directorate will conduct regular inspections and, where necessary, supervise tick control activities at identified high-risk animal establishments and auction facilities. Animal handlers are urged to ensure that animals are free from ticks and to wear protective clothing when conducting any slaughtering procedures.
Switching attention to the northeastern part of the country, where a 27-year-old man lost a toe after he was allegedly shot in a dispute over a bar seat in the Zambezi region. In a crime report issued on Sunday, the Namibian police force indicated that a 26-year-old man was apprehended as a suspect in the matter. The report stated the suspect shot the victim with a shotgun while he was returning home from the bar with his brothers, causing the victim to lose a big toe and suffer severe injuries on his left foot.
The crime report stated that the altercation began over a seat at a local bar while the victim and the suspect were drinking alcohol. It is further alleged that the shotgun did not belong to the suspect and that it was unlicensed. In a similar but unrelated incident, a 26-year-old man was allegedly shot and injured at Moses Garua Primary School in Windus Ombili residential area. According to the crime report, the victim was in a taxi with 3 other passengers, where a conflict ensued between the victim and the taxi driver over the lack of payment for the ride. The suspect allegedly pulled out a gun and fired a shot that hit the victim's upper right arm. The suspect is yet to be arrested. In an unrelated incident in Ocho, in the Osongo region, an unknown suspect allegedly stabbed a 28-year-old male in the abdomen with an unknown object, resulting in serious injuries. According to the report, the victim was initially taken to the Ocho State Hospital but was later transferred to Windhoek for further treatment, where his condition was confirmed as stable.
On to continental updates. Long-time political kingmaker Bola Tinubu was today sworn in as Nigeria's new president, as Africa's most populous nation navigates a sea of economic troubles and grave insecurities. More from this report.
Tinubu was declared winner of the February 25 election with 8.8 million votes and the required number of ballots across 2/3 of Nigeria's states. Both the main opposition leader Atiku Abubakar, who came second, and outsider Peter Obi, who was third, are contesting the results in court, claiming fraud. The Electoral Commission acknowledged glitches during the vote but dismissed claims that the process was not free and fair. Known as political godfather, Tinubu campaigned saying, "It is my turn to govern the continent's largest economy," touting his experience as Lagos governor from 1999 to 2007.
Stand by for your top roundup. Welcome to the Primetime Business segment. Now, since Botswana gained independence in 1966, industrialization has always been considered a key stimulant to the Southern African country's economic growth and poverty reduction. To achieve this, Business Botswana, the country's Chamber of Commerce, initiated trade fairs to bring together businesses from all walks of life to discuss issues that hinder their ability to do business. More insights from this report.
Since Botswana gained independence in 1966, industrialization has always been considered a key stimulant to the Southern African country's economic growth and poverty reduction. To achieve this, Business Botswana, the country's Chamber of Commerce, initiated trade fairs to bring together businesses from all walks of life to discuss issues that hinder their ability to do business. Decisions and recommendations taken at the trade fair will then shape Botswana's government intervention to make the environment conducive for businesses to grow and thrive. According to Business Botswana Northern Trade Fair, website. In considering the challenges hindering industrialization, Kakfela said the little participation of Chinese companies at the Business Botswana Northern Trade Fair could be the reason behind the failure of Botswana's industrialization drive. Reporting for Primetime News, Ndamona Kanganjera.
On to East Africa. Kenya has called on multilateral financial institutions in Africa to help pool and mobilize resources for mitigating the many challenges the continent is facing.
Junguna Ndungu, the Cabinet Secretary of National Treasury and Economic Planning, cited the challenges as geopolitical tensions, the COVID-19 pandemic, food insecurity, and climate change. He said that the African Development Bank, for instance, has the capacity to support African nations to achieve their Agenda 2063 goals. The agenda is Africa's blueprint and master plan to transform the continent into a global powerhouse of the future. Developed by the African Union, it aims to help the institution deliver on its goal for inclusive and sustainable development of the continent. Ndungu added that Kenya will next year host the Africa Development Bank annual meeting in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, after assuming the chairmanship of the board of the institution.
This brings us to the end of our top news segment for tonight. Let's take a look at how the weather conditions are likely to pan out throughout the country in the weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment that unpacks all things sports for you. For the past 2 weeks, our sports journalist Hesron Kapanga has been tracking the actions for us at the World Para-Athletics Grand Prix in Notville, Switzerland, and reports that Namibian athletes secured a total of 18 podium places at the just concluded event. The final round of the Grand Prix was held at the Sports Arena, Notville. The team is scheduled to return home from the European Tour today. Congratulations to Team Namibia for their remarkable achievement and doing the nation proud. On to European soccer news. Sevilla and Roma may seem an even match on paper in the Europa League final, but the Andalusians' love affair with the competition may give them an edge in Budapest. They are the record 6-time champions, with the closest contenders Inter Milan, Liverpool, Juventus and Atletico Madrid on 3 each. Despite their disappointing season in La Liga, Sevilla have stepped up a gear in the Europa League, blowing away Manchester United and then Juventus to reach the 7th final. Meanwhile, Jose Mourinho will put his remarkable European record on the line when Roma face Sevilla in Wednesday's Europa League final, with a second straight Continental Cup up for grabs. The 60-year-old coaching icon has never lost a European final in his career, 5 wins from 5 over 2 decades, making him the first manager to reach the UEFA final with 4 different clubs. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. On that note, we have come to the end of the Monday newscast. Many thanks for watching. Do make a date with us tomorrow for the Tuesday Primetime News edition. From myself, Patricia Kutsia, and the crew behind the scenes, it's good night.